This is the Sonos Move 2. While on the outside it might look a lot like its predecessor, it's been upgraded pretty significantly inside for better sound, better features, and a different voice assistant. And if you're looking for a Bluetooth and AirPlay speaker, it's one of the best sounding ones out there. Oh, by the way, this entire review is recorded on the iPhone 15 Pro Max in 4K 30 ProRes video directly to an external SSD. So in case you were wondering if that works, yes, it does. Let's talk about the design. The Sonos Move 1, which I've had for over a year, I think already had a great design. The handle on the back so you can carry it around is super convenient. The charging base was great. Form factor was good. There really wasn't much to complain about. And yet Sonos has even improved on all of that with the Move 2. It's updated the charging base so it is a little easier to align those pins as you drop it in. The buttons on the top of the Move 2 have been updated, which more closely resemble things like the Era 300, which if you want to hear my review on that, especially as rear home theater speakers, check out the video above or in the description. It now has a volume slider, which is really nice. Voice assistant button, skip forward, back, and then the play pause. The USB-C port on the back can be used as a line-in source, but it can also be used to actually charge other devices, which is great because the Sonos Move 2 actually has double the battery capacity as the Move 1. So you actually have up to 24 hours of playback with the Move 2. Also, the power brick on the Move 2 has been redesigned, putting the USB-C port kind of on the side, and it's detachable, which is really nice. The Move 1 was kind of built into that power plug, so nice to know you can just detach it out of that brick, use your own USB-C brick, or maybe a power hub if you have something like that. Also, the Move 2 comes in 3 colors, white, black, and an olive green. I really love that olive green look. I would have gotten it, but the white looks really good too. Because I leave my Moves outside, you can see that if you go black and you leave it outside, especially here in Florida, it's going to get marked up a little bit. Let's talk about sound quality. I always thought the Move 1 sounded great, but the Move 2 now adds an additional tweeter, so it can actually do stereo sound, so you get way more separation. And while I don't think the woofer has been increased in size, it does sound incredible. If you listen to the Move 2 and the Move 1 side by side, the Move 1 starts just sounding muffled and not as present. The Move 2 sounds great. Whether I've listened to classical, movie soundtracks, or pop music, having that stereo separation of sound is super noticeable. And I really feel like the bass is a little punchier than the Move 1. I've tried multiple Bluetooth speakers like the JBLs, even the larger sizes in the hundreds of dollars, and I find the Sonos Move 2 is one of the best sounding not only Bluetooth speakers, but it has Wi-Fi and then AirPlay too. So you can not only use the Sonos app to play, you can just AirPlay from your iPhone, iPad, or whatever Apple device. One note, if you have a Move 2 and 1, you cannot pair them together. If you want to make a stereo pair, you have to have 2 Sonos Move 2s or 2 Move 1s. Now, out here on my patio, I actually have a pair of Sonos One SLs. I have my Move 1, and it would have been nice to pair them together, but I understand why. The Move 2 just sounds so different, why they don't want to pair it. But you can group multiple speakers like that in the Sonos app, so now I can play music to my patio, which goes to all the speakers out here, both Move 1, 2, and 1 SLs, and it sounds great out here. Volume-wise, I think the Sonos Move 2 gets louder as well, which it has an extra tweeter, so might be that. Now when it comes to voice assistants, there's actually a change here. The Sonos Move 1, you could use the Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa, but now you actually have Alexa and then the new Sonos voice control, which is on a lot of their other speakers like the Sonos Arc and Era 300. And while there is a physical mic switch on the back of the Move 2, so if you don't want to use any voice assistant at all, you want to make sure the microphone is off, you can just flip that switch down and you're good to go. But out here on the patio, I actually don't have any HomePod or other devices that use Apple's Assistant to play music. So I kind of actually like Sonos' voice assistant out here, and I find it's pretty fast. For instance, hey Sonos, play music by Taylor Swift. Again, this is over Wi-Fi out on the patio. I do have good Wi-Fi signal out here, but even with all that, it's pretty responsive. I think actually faster than Siri, but it's not perfect. Hey Sonos, play Lingus by Snarky Puppy.
Sorry, I don't understand. Please use the Sonos app.
Also, you can't change the voice of the Sonos voice assistant, which I would definitely change that if I could, but that's okay. The other nice thing is having a 24-hour battery. You could take this out for a weekend without the charger and probably have plenty of power to go. I actually got this traveling case on Amazon, pretty inexpensive. I think it's about $30. I'll put a link in the description, which Sonos sells their own first-party cases and mounts, wall mounts, things like that. It's a pretty tight fit, but it does fit and it'll make it a little easier to carry the Sonos Move 2 around. Again, the Sonos Move 2 sounds great. It is noticeably better than the Move 1, that extra tweeter, and whatever they did to that woofer I think makes a big difference. It is $450, so it is not an inexpensive speaker. The Sonos Move 1, Sonos is still selling that just for $50 less at $400. Now that the Move 2 is out, you probably can find good deals on the Move 1 and things like Best Buy and Amazon. I'll put links down in the description if you want to look for that. But if you're only looking at a difference of $50, I think the Sonos Move 2 is definitely worth the upgrade. Again, if you have one Sonos Move 1 and you're looking to make a stereo pair, now you're in for like a $900 purchase for a stereo pair. But honestly, I think one Sonos Move 2, either outside on a patio or just something you can carry around the house, which again has a huge battery. It'll last a long time, bring it in whatever room you want. Use it with a line-in USB-C port on the back. I mean, it's just a great speaker overall. And again, it works with AirPlay and Bluetooth, really flexible. I really love the Move 2. One of my favorite things to do is setting up a screen out here on the patio with a projector and an Apple TV. And then the Apple TV can AirPlay to all the Sonos speakers together here on the patio and even inside. If you want to see a projector review I did recently, check it out above or the link in the description. And there's lots of videos up on the channel. The iPhone 15 Pro Max, which again, this entire review was filmed with the 15 Pro Max directly to an external SSD and just with kind of a crazy setup. So if you want to learn more about that, I have 2 videos on all the USB-C capabilities that the new iPhone 15s have. You can check that video out above or in the description. And you might have missed some of the hidden features in iOS 17. If you want to know more about that, you should check out this video up here where I go super in depth into things like, did you know you could play audio messages at 2x speed now in iOS 17? If you didn't, you should probably check it out.